Hello, I'm Jo and welcome to today's book review. Now today I am reviewing this lovely here. This is Death at Fournier Downs by Cara Devlin, and it is the second book in what is shaping up to be my favourite series, definitely of this year, and possibly one of my favourite series, just like in general, which is the Bow Street Duchess mystery series. Okay, so this is book 2. I have already reviewed book 1 for you, and I will link that up for you because that was amazing as well. That one, book 1, I got from NetGalley, and that was Murder at the Seven Dials, and that one, originally, I'd picked it because it had 7, so it was good for the clock reading challenge. And I'd seen a few good things, sort of comments about it and stuff. And I was like, ooh, I think I might like that one. And boy, did I like it. Okay, so absolutely loved that. So I decided to get the second book from Amazon. Okay, so the second one, this one, I bought myself a copy of this one. And I'm so glad I did, because I absolutely love this one as well. So this was another 5-star for me. Okay, so we're doing well with this series. I believe that the series has 7 books in it currently, and I am looking forward to reading the rest of the series, that's for sure. I absolutely love the characters of both of Audrey and Hugh, who is the police officer. The chemistry between these two is just like, it jumps off the page, like how much they irritate each other, but also like how much chemistry there is between them, and there's that spark, and it's a really like slow burn romance thing going on between them, but like the dynamic is amazing. Anyway, let's get into this adventure. So, in the first book, huge big murder scandal, okay, where Audrey's husband, the Duke, he gets accused of murder and things in the first one. So, anyway, he has been declared clean of all wrongdoing and everything, but, you know, gossip is gossip, and so they decide to retreat to the countryside, like you do. Anyway, this is, in case you're not familiar, this is an historical mystery romance. Okay, this is Regency period. So, what are you to do when you're caught up in a big scandal? And, you know, you normally live in the centre of London and stuff. Huge scandal. The ton is going to just like go berserk over this. So what do? You retreat to the countryside, okay, to let all the gossips calm down until they've got like their new victims for the gossips, okay? Now, this is what Audrey and her husband had intended to do. Unfortunately, whilst they're out in the countryside at their property of Fournier Downs, Audrey's friend Charlotte, who is the Countess of Bainbury, who is also, say, one of the neighbours. She lives very close by to their house, as much as you can be close with these mansions and the huge land, but relatively close, and they're friends. And Charlotte mysteriously ends up dead on Fournier Downs parkland. Okay, so Audrey discovers the body of her friend here, and she calls in the only person that she trusts to get to the bottom of everything. Bearing in mind they are just out of a scandal in London, so, you know, having a scandal in the countryside, not ideal timing. But anyway, so she calls on Officer Hugh Marsden, hoping that he will be able to resolve the case. Now, if you have read, I should just going to give a little spoiler alert here, okay? So in case you haven't read the first book, then, you know, maybe you don't want to listen to this next bit. Just gonna say that, okay? If you haven't read the first book, go and read it and then come back to the video, okay? Because you will not be disappointed. But anyway, okay, so Officer Hugh Marsden knows about Audrey's special talents, okay? And so, having worked together on the Duke's case back in London, she calls him in and hopes that together they can get to the bottom of what actually happened to Charlotte. I should probably point out trigger warning here as well. Originally, they think that it might have been a suicide. So that's a trigger warning for you. And there is also talk in this about problems with pregnancy, miscarriages. So be aware of that as well coming into this. Okay, so anyway, the dynamic between Hugh and Audrey throughout this is like, because they irritate each other, but at the same time they have like this big spark, and it's, you know, the connection between the two of them. It comes out a little bit more in this one, where they both kind of, I think, starting to realize that, you know, maybe they do have feelings for each other. Bearing in mind that Audrey is married to the Duke. Now, if you've read the first book, I've already given the spoiler alert, so I can say this stuff. You'll know that the Duke and Audrey have an agreement. Okay, their marriage has never been consumed. Okay, so the Duke is gay, but obviously back in those times couldn't be spreading that around and things, and so they basically kind of saved each other by marrying each other, and they need to keep up those appearances. Now, Audrey, until she met Hugh, wasn't really bothered about that kind of thing. She was fine in her own little world and things, but she's starting to get feelings. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where this goes with the rest of the series. Oh, but I'm also thinking, you know, it's 7 books long so far, this series. So I don't know how long this slow burn romance, like how slow can they be about it, because it's already there a lot. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see anyway. But anyway, lots of secrets getting discovered in this one about the different characters. Obviously, Audrey throws herself into the middle of the investigation, putting herself at risk yet again. And so Hugh not only is trying to solve the case, but also trying to make sure that she's safe throughout as well. But it was so good. It was so good. It's like, you know, when you find that series with the characters that you love, and so at the end of the book, you're like, oh, I'm kind of sad that it's over. Like, you can't wait for it to finish because you want to find out what happens, but then you're like, oh, it's over. Bummer kind of thing. And then you get the next book in the series and it's like, oh, my friends, I'm back with you. And it's just like really good to be back with them. Yeah, this is one of those. So anyway, if you like slow burn romance, if you like historical fiction, particularly in the Regency period, if you like murder mysteries and, you know, like crime books in general, if you like romance books, I think this book it's got a bit of everything. And then there's also like that little kind of like paranormal kind of edge to it as well. Like this series really goes over so many genres. There's like a little bit of everything for everyone in it, and it's done so well, and the characters are so good. And I feel that more people need to be talking about this. You know, you find a series and you're like, it blows you away, and you're like, I love this, I'm obsessing over this, and then you sort of sit there and you think, I've not seen other people obsessing over this. Like, why are not there's so many books that get hyped up, so many series that get hyped up, and they're not as good, you know. And this one's like amazing, and then like no one's talking about it. So it's that kind of, I want more people to be hyping up this book series. I really do. I really do. So go read these books and then tell everyone about how awesome they are, because really does deserve it. Really does deserve it. And I'm definitely gonna read other books by Cara Devlin now as well. Definitely a fan. Definitely a fan, and I can't wait to read the rest of the books in this series. So anyway, check them out. What was the last series that got you excited about, like, oh, I need the next book, I need the next book, I need the next book? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.